Hey guys, welcome to another Horror in 24 weekly reading vlog. We are starting week 2. It is July 20th and let's just jump into the books that I plan on reading this week. We will be finishing The Hunger this week and we will be finishing Mexican Gothic. The Hunger was for a book that's been on my TBR forever, while Mexican Gothic is my new pick for read a Gothic horror novel. I'm loving this and I'm loving this as well. So those are the plans. If I finish all of those, I also want to jump into The House That Fell from the Sky. This is a Nightworms book party and this was a book that I set for read a book with red on the cover. Let's see where else the readathon takes us. It's Monday. It's a fresh new start and it's gonna be a fantastic reading week. I am declaring it. I am calling it. I am calling it into existence. Let's do this, folks. Let's do this. Hey guys, so I've done a little bit more reading of The Hunger and Mexican Gothic. So last night I got up to page 242 in The Hunger and we're still in the same boat. People are losing their minds because they're very low on rations, and also some people have a feeling that something is behind them or following them, and so they're still losing their minds. Things are still going wrong and people are fighting, they're arguing, they're mistrusting each other. It's still very eerie in tone. As far as, like, I remember telling you guys that the other night, I don't know if it was my last vlog, I think it was in my last vlog, that I told you that there was a part where I just had to put the book down because it was just a little too creepy and it was like 2 in the morning and like my house is dark, I have these earbuds in, and it was like, it got so scary that I had to like shut it off, and that doesn't happen to me. So as far as that scary tone or that like very scary moment, I haven't encountered that again, and I feel like I still haven't gotten where that part and the rest of the story connects. I'm still trucking along with this. And then Mexican Gothic, same thing. It's a very slow-paced Gothic horror novel, and so you have tones of like creepy elements within the house, the dark tones, the old, you know, the not lack of electricity because they have electricity, but just they don't use electricity. And so this town used to be a very successful mining town, and so when the mines closed down, everybody moved away from there except the people from High Place, which is where Catalina is staying. And so the place is run down. There's silver from when the mines were active, but like the silver is sort of like abandoned. The house is abandoned, but they refuse to move from there. But again, it's very slow paced. It's like it's just more of a story to listen to or to read, where you're just seeing little occurrences. So it's very slow paced, and I like that. I like a slow paced book, especially one with creepy tones like this. With the Mexican Gothic, I'm 92 pages in. I got a busy day and I also got a late start, which is usual. I get late starts to my day all the time. Like every day is a late start for me. Hey guys, so I just wrapped up. I just filmed my June wrap up. It's July 22nd today and I'm just filming my wrap up. That's just insane. So I'm a little bit further into Hunger. The Hunger. Did I say that right? Yeah. The Hunger. I'm thinking about Hunger on the Chisholm Trail because I just wrapped that up in my June wrap up and The Hunger just didn't sound right. But yeah, I'm a little bit further into The Hunger. I believe I'm on chapter 28. I left my book over there. And I'm close to finishing it. I was hoping to finish it yesterday, but that wasn't the case, so I can't stop moving around. We're getting to the nitty-gritty of it. I mean, we've gotten to the nitty-gritty of it already, but we're really getting into the nitty-gritty now. We're understanding more of what's going on besides with the evil thing that's lurking around. I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'm enjoying it more now than before. But one thing that I did notice, I feel like this book is very soap opera-y because there's times where she was like, and she fell into his arms, and I'm just like, oh geez, like can we get rid of this? But it is a horror novel, obviously. But it has a lot of like underlying soap opera type of tones into it. And this takes place back in the day, so the writing is not so much a back in the day kind of writing, but like the things that have like she fell into his arms, or she threw herself on the floor, or the exhaustion made her, you know, things like that. So I find that funny. I'm liking it so far, but I'm not liking it as much as I thought I would like it. I think I'm in love of the idea of a retelling of the Donner Party with horror undertones. I mean, that is a horror story in itself, the actual thing, but the retelling format of the Donner Party. I think I was more in love with the idea of that than I am of the actual story, but still, it is a good book. And then I read a little bit more of Mexican Gothic. There's not much I could talk about that book because it's always, you know, the slow pace and developing of the story between Noemi and trying to find out what's going on with her cousin and the dark secrets. My favorite part about filming wrap-ups is being able to put my books back where they go, because whenever I finish a book throughout the month, I put it in a stack next to my DBR. What's a DBR? My TBR cart. And I just put them in a pile on the floor next to my cart. And so it's so satisfying to put back the books on the shelf that I've already read. So that's what I'm gonna do now. You guys, it is Thursday morning and I am just so excited right now. So usually my morning routine is I wake up and I stay in bed and I play my Animal Crossing and like all my little video games. I try to spend like an hour to 2 hours. I don't look at social media. I mean, I used to. I started incorporating a new routine where I would just focus on something that I love to do and start my day off like that, although I end up getting overwhelmed later anyways. Today I wake up, I grab my Switch, I'm, you know, playing on my iPad after I take care of my island, and I do have my phone next to me because I do listen to an audiobook while I'm playing all of this. And I see something about like, congratulations Marcy, coming from like Instagram. I'm like, what, congratulations for what? So I open it up, I'm like, let me just check really quick. And it was my friend Rain, and she was saying congratulations for hitting 1K on YouTube. I'm like, what? I can't even, but look, I'm getting teary-eyed. I can't even believe it. I'm so excited. I never thought I would make it past 400. I've been on YouTube for 2 years, I think already, but 2 very laid back years. Like I wasn't consistent. I wasn't on top of it. I didn't try to network or comment or befriend on YouTube. My main focus was Instagram. I've always loved YouTube, but as far as like me branching out, I love filming and I love doing videos, but it wasn't so much like Instagram was always my first place. Like I love Instagram. Look, I'm still in my pajamas because I needed to come on here and like freak out. But I used to, I love making videos and content, but very laid back. Like I was never like, okay, I'm trying to grow my YouTube. But lately, as of the past, maybe within this past year, I started like being more consistent. And here I am at 1K. And like I said, I never thought I would make it past 400 subscribers, which I was fine with. I'm okay with it. But I can't, like 1,000, I can't. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed and who is here and who watch me and who support me. I don't make sense. I sometimes don't even know what I'm talking about. None of the time, so I know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to explain books, so I don't know why you're here, but thank you so much. I am so appreciative, and my battery is blinking. I was gonna update you guys on the books that I'm reading, but I'm gonna charge up my battery and then we'll talk about the books that I am reading, because I did finish a book and I started a new one, so hey y'all, so it is a couple hours later. I just worked out. I'm trying to be a little bit more active, especially right now. I think this is like the heaviest I have ever been. I'm trying to do a little bit more. So I bought a jump rope a couple weeks ago or last week. I don't know if I told you guys that, but I've been trying to jump rope. This is my first day back at like working out again, and I was working out with my daughter. and it was fun. I can instantly feel a difference in my mental health when I work out. So let's talk about the books that I finished, the book that I finished, and the book that I started. So I finished The Hunger last night while I was playing Animal Crossing. So this was my audiobook of the week, or at the time. I liked how it ended, but it's not what I expected. I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars. I thought it was like a little bit melodramatic at times, which is understandable because of the time frame that where this happens. And so I liked it. I like at the end of the book, you have, after the acknowledgements, you have like historical notes on the hunger, and then you have a discussion guide. So I think that's pretty cool. Again, I enjoyed it. It was creepy, it was dark. I like the narrator of the book. She really gave it that extra creepy tone to it. So to replace my audiobook last night, I was like really into Animal Crossing. I had like meteor showers last night in my island. Today I collected 14 star fragments along my beach. So I was just sitting there looking at the sky the whole entire time while like sneaking, and I missed like 3 shooting stars. So while I was doing all of that, I decided to start Kill Creek. This is for the prompt of read a haunted house or ghost story. I had already started this last year. This was one of the DNFs from last year in my DNF video. I was 50 pages in, but I restarted from the beginning, and now I am 20 pages in. So still liking it. I had already read all of this, and it was pretty, I remembered pretty much everything that is still going on. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So far, the 2 writers have already gotten their invitation to this house. We got the introduction to the house, the history of the house in a few pages, and now they're getting their invitations, and that's where I left off at. I love the main character, the girl writer in this. I think the writer's name is T.C. Moore. I love her. She's such a badass. I love her hairstyle. She has like long black hair, but she has her sides shaved. Now I don't know if you guys know about this. I think it was more towards the beginning of my channel, or maybe I had already grown it out, but I used to have my sides shaved, and I'm so tempted to get back to that all the time. I love that edgy look. She's a badass. She doesn't care. And so yeah, I'm reading this. And then as of Mexican Gothic, I'm 132 pages into this one. Still same thing, not much to say about this other than I'm trucking along. I'm loving Noemi's character. I'm loving the creepy house and the Gothic tones to it. Hey guys, so it is Friday afternoon. I think it's like 1:30, 1:45, something like that. I don't even know. I'm like in such a blah mood today. Like I don't want to do anything. I just really stepped out of bed. That's why my hair is looking... That's not why my hair is looking like this. My hair is looking like this all the time because I don't like doing my hair. But I have a little bit of... I've made a little bit of progress on Kill Creek. I am currently... I just started the second part of the book, part 2, where they're all already in the haunted house. So we have our first 2 initial authors that have gotten the invitation and they're already in the house. But surprise, surprise, there are another 2 authors that didn't know they would be there. None of them knew about each other. It's 4 authors in total, and they were all invited to come into this house. So they have just arrived to the house. They have just taken their first step into the house, and I'm guessing things are going to start developing from here. This is the point of the book going forward where I won't be talking much details of the book other than my enjoyment and what page I'm on, because up to now is basically where the synopsis ends. So from the synopsis, we know there are 4 writers. They're in this house. We know that this house has its secrets and people have died in there already. We know about when it was built, what happened to the first initial people, and then the following 2 people that moved in afterwards. That's as far as the synopsis goes, and that's as far as my details are gonna go. So I'm really enjoying it. The audiobook is pretty good, and I said part 2, but I didn't tell you how many pages in. I'm 100 pages into the book. Plans are to get a lot of reading done. I think we have about 9 to 10 days left of the readathon. It ends August 3rd. So I need to get to reading because I have a lot of books to read. I have a review book, which is still part of the readathon, and I have a couple more books to read. Let's go. It's Saturday, it's the 25th, and I was sitting here and I'm like, okay, let me pick up Mexican Gothic, you know, and try to finally finish it because I'm loving it so much, but I don't know what my issue is with picking it up. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the 25th. I gotta turn in a review for The House That Fell from the Sky on the 28th. I had to start this one. I'm 40 pages in and I'm struggling through the beginning. It's taking so long to get into the story. It's taking so long to say what people are doing, how the character is feeling, and I am like, holy descriptions. I hate criticizing a book like that or somebody's work like that because people work so hard to write a book, you know, and as I've told you guys before, I'm lucky if I could write a sentence. I can only imagine a whole entire book, so who am I to say anything? But I can just say on what I'm experiencing it, you know, maybe not everybody experiences the same read with this book, but for me, it's just taking a really long time to get through thoughts and feelings and actions that, I hope the whole book isn't like this, but I have a feeling it's going to be like this. I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those books where, I think this is 400, this is 500 pages long, and I feel like it's going to be one of those books where it could have been 100 pages shorter, just on descriptions alone. And then I did get up to 150 pages of Kill Creek last night. This book is on fire. I love the fact that they have a Christian horror writer in here. I can relate to that part so much. I am gonna start cooking dinner right now. I'm hoping to make patty melts. I've never made patty melts. I mean, how hard can it be? But I always like to eat burgers, but I didn't buy any hamburger buns, and now I'm gonna try to make patty melts. So that's on the agenda for today, and then to read 100 more pages of this. I will talk to you guys later. I'm currently 136 pages into this. This has to do with this girl. She is sort of moving back home from being in college. She actually drops out of college to come back home, and one night there's some mysterious events with like this electrical outage and like these noises and all this stuff, and this house appears on 7th Street. It's just a mysterious house. They have it blocked off. They're not letting anybody in, but somehow her and a group of friends and her dad make it in there. And they're just like in front of the house, whatever. That happened probably like, I don't know, 60, 70 pages into the book. And that's it. And then we encounter the house again 130 pages in for like 2 seconds. And I think now that it's coming back to me, I think I remember telling you guys how I was having a hard time getting through it, and I still am. I feel like everything is just a detail of what's happening, what are people, what are these characters feeling, and it's just throwing me off. I'm like rolling my eyes at times. Now that I got like 5 seconds of a taste of the house, it's like, you know, I want more of that. I want more of the incident that happened with the house, you know, and I feel like we're not getting it. I was just messaging with a friend of mine that's also reading the book, and he says how some people were saying that we really don't get to a lot of that till 250 pages in. It's like, I don't care that this girl or one of the girls is like, I don't know, wistfully looking at the clock, or, you know, for 5 minutes straight. I just feel like the characters are trying too hard to be something or to be seen in a certain light, if that makes sense. I feel like it's almost like forced and it doesn't flow easily. You guys know how I feel about DNFing books. I'm gonna give you an example, and I know the author that I'm gonna use is gonna be a little bit, so like Stephen King, Lizzie's Story, that's a 600, maybe 600 page book, and for the first 150 pages really nothing is happening, but then after that, that is probably one of my favorite King books. I mean, I know I've only read like 12 to 13 books of his, but right now that's in the top 3, and it dragged. I wanted to put it down for, you know, before the 150 page mark like 15 times, but I was pushed on by a friend of mine who loves the story so much, and so I trucked along. I was on like in this group read, and I'm so glad I did. But as far as that is concerned, it was the story that was dragging. I didn't have a problem with the characters. As a matter of fact, I liked the characters. It was just the pacing of the story, but nothing else was really wrong with it. In this case, it's something like, it's the story that's being forced. It's the characters that are sort of like, it almost reads, I don't know, I'm thinking this is in the adult genre, but it almost reads like young adultish, trying too hard. I have made some progress on Kill Creek, but honestly, I've been just trying to focus on this, and so all my other books are in my bedroom. But either way, I will update you guys tomorrow on what's going on with that. It is Monday, so let's close out the week. I didn't do so great this week, you guys. Ugh. I did finish one book, so I don't feel that bad. I know I started this last week, finished it this week. Finished this week, and I liked it. I'm not going to talk too much about my experience because you guys just finished watching this. I ended up giving this one 3 stars. I'm excited to dive into the deep. I feel like I'm gonna like the deep better than the hunger. What I do love about Amakatsu is that she just does historical horror so well. I've only read one of her books, but let's just say she does it so well because I really did enjoy this one. Let's move on. So this week I started Kill Creek, and I started The House That Fell from the Sky. I got a little bit further along last night into Kill Creek. I am listening to the audiobook of this. I did reach page 302. This is gonna be a 5-star read for me, you guys. Creepy. That's what this book is. I would have finished this if it wasn't because my Beats ran out of battery. Phenomenal book. I'm hoping to finish it for the next vlog. You shall see. As far as The House That Fell from the Sky, I'm on the same page that I told you guys about last night. I am gonna give it another 50 pages, but I'm really not liking this story. I know a lot of people that like it, so take my review and my experience with a grain of salt. Every book is different for everybody. There are people that really like this book, and then there's a couple people in the group that are having problems with it. So it's a very good story. Just the execution for me is not vibing well with my taste. That's what I'll say. But I'm gonna give it another 50 to 100 pages on this one. I didn't get through anything of Mexican Gothic. Failed. I'm gonna start week 3 now. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!